We're doing a live on the beaver moon tonight. So, for those joining for the first time, we call this study hall. And the reason we do it, we like to learn things. We're here to learn. So, we cover everything from robotics to AI, and every day we learn together. We do robotics, AI, and science. And if you followed along the last 2 months, this channel has mostly focused on the robotics part of it. And today we're starting for the first time to really start going over some science. So what better way, I thought, what to cover in science. And then I discovered, hey, there's the beaver moon. And I was thinking today, what is the beaver moon? And then, I thought it would be a great topic to explore with my audience and, learn about what this name means. So, gonna wait for a few more people to join the room. If you could, if everyone joining, if we could get these likes up, help share it out. Appreciate that. Welcome in. Once again, tonight we're going over the beaver moon. That is the time of year it is, and a lot of people are pretty unaware of what that means. I know I was unaware of it, and I thought, since we're expanding this channel into science, what a great way to spend some time tonight. So can we get the likes up in the chat? Can we get the likes up? Give me a comment, let me know you're here, and then I'll start getting into it. And this is a study hall. So on our study halls, we learn about everything from robotics to AI to science. If you've been around a little while, you've seen a lot of robotics on this channel. But tonight, we're gonna have some fun. We're gonna explore what it means to be a beaver moon. All right. So, what's the number one question about beaver moon? What does it mean? Well, that's the November full moon. So every year it's going to be a beaver moon. All right. And for us, it just happens to be November 5th at 8:19 a.m. Eastern. So we're just around 12 hours away from it being the beaver moon. Now, Liliana, welcome in. Thank you. Thanks for checking me out today. Chat, can we get these likes up? I see a lot of people joining. Can we get the likes up and be a quality engager, because this community is about learning together. We learn about robotics. We learn about AI. We learn about science. So tonight we're going to learn about the beaver moon. And make sure you subscribe so you don't lose me. Appreciate those subscriptions. And we're 12 hours away from this beaver moon. So why do we call it a beaver moon? That's the number one question. And let's answer that. So this is the time of year where beavers always built their dams. So indigenous people would come to this, November time, and they would say, hey, this is like the time of the beaver. And then there's this magnificent moon looking like this, and that's how it got called the beaver moon. And this beaver moon is a super moon. It's a full moon. Tonight on the live, we're gonna really explore all of these terms. And hey, chat, where you're at have you gone outside? Have you seen the moon? Is it looking pretty big? Let me know. Where's everyone from tonight? Where's everyone from? And thank you guys. I see the likes going up. The likes are going up. Liliana, welcome. Angelica, welcome. Carlos, it's the morning, Mexico. Hey, Well, that's pretty, I hope, hey, you liked Carlos. Hey, appreciate it, man. USA, Mexico, we got people from all over the world, and we're gonna learn about this beautiful moon. So, um, let's see, Beaver Moon. It also used to be the traditional time for trappers to set beaver traps because beavers used to be really all over the United States. And who's seen a beaver in real life? I think it's pretty rare these days. I've seen a few beavers at the zoo, but haven't really ever been like out in the wild on a walk and seen a beaver. Has anyone else seen one of those? Well, hey, chat, we're building up. We got 6 people in the room, and you have Carlos from Mexico. He said he's seen a beaver in real life. That's pretty cool. In the United States, I have never seen a beaver out in the wild. But hey, Carlos, thanks for sharing that with you. We don't know. We have people from all over. Yesterday, we had people from United Kingdom, Kurdistan. So, these are cool things to share. So thank you for sharing. And what's the next question? So I mentioned the Beaver Moon is a supermoon. And what does a supermoon mean? Well, a supermoon means when a full moon coincides with the moon being at the closest point to the Earth in its orbit. It's this term called perigee. All right, and when that happens, the reason we refer to it as a supermoon is it's 14% larger and 30% brighter than a typical moon. Now, why is that? Well, the reason being is it's a lot closer to Earth. If you look at the orbit here, Paris girl, thank you, spreading some nice messages in the chat. And I appreciate you being here. Welcome in, everyone. Make sure you don't lose me. Subscribe. This is a study hall. So we do study halls twice a day. We learn about robots. We learn about AI. We learn about science. And tonight, if you've noticed in your sky, wherever you're at in the world, with people from Mexico, US, wherever you're at, we're going to talk about this Beaver Moon so you are knowledgeable. So it's a Beaver Moon, and why is it special this time of year? Because we have 3 supermoons in a row. So last month we had a harvest moon, supermoon. Tonight we have, tonight, tomorrow morning, wherever you're at, we have another supermoon, and next month we have another supermoon. So the moon is much closer to the Earth than it normally is, and that's really pretty cool. So, and to tell you how special this is, how many supermoons do we get a year? Carlos, I see you subscribed. Thank you, my friend. Thank you. I just got that notification. I appreciate it. So 3 to 4 times a year is the typical amount of time that we see a supermoon. And I just mentioned we're getting three months in a row. So, I mean, that's really, really pretty cool. And you're going to be witnessing one here in the next day. So, how did we get with this term, the supermoon? That's what we're gonna explore next. And the term supermoon was actually coined by astrologer Richard Noel, and it wasn't and he called it a supermoon. He was actually seeing the tides. So supermoons got identified because if you look at the ocean, they have higher tides, and once again, that's because they're 25,000 miles closer than the average moon. Jesse, welcome in. And Jesse has seen a beaver at Yellowstone National Park when I was a teenager. So, Jesse, appreciate you being in the room. And that makes 2 people in the room who have seen beavers. So we have people in Mexico, Yellowstone National Park. I'm not I'm not familiar what state is that. I've heard of it before, but I'm not sure exactly what state that's from. But I know it's in the United States. So 2 people have seen beavers. That's pretty cool. I haven't seen one out in the wild, so um, that's a cool experience that you guys have had, and pretty cool. So once again, guys, tonight we are talking about Beaver Moon, obviously. And can we get the likes up in the room? I see just 2 people have liked the actual stream, and that really helps push it out. So I appreciate it if you could like the stream. This is a study hall. We go over AI, we go over robotics, we go over science, and tonight we're just learning about this supermoon. So supermoon, we just learned 3 to 4 times a year. What about full moons? Anyone know how many times we have a full moon per year? I'll wait for the comments to come in. Hope everyone's doing well tonight. I'll have a quick bite. Well, full moons, 12 to 13 a year. So 1 per month. Pretty much every 29.5 days, we're going to see a full moon. And some interesting facts about full moons. There is statistically an increase in emergency room visits on full moons, but no correlation, they say in studies, between full moon and emergency room. That's just the fact of the day. Angelica, look, Angelica in the chat, she's got it right. 12 times a year. 12 times a year. All right. Now, next chat, we're going to go over a term that is associated with these beaver moons, and that is the term perigean. Jesse, I see in the chat we just got some pasta, some simple pasta with garlic and some avocado oil. That's what we're eating tonight. So gotta take a bite sometimes, right? All right, well, welcome in everyone joining. Once again, we're just talking about the supermoon and this term perigean. And perigean is the point in the moon's orbit when it's closest to Earth, from the Greek word meaning near in Earth. So it just means related to that. And a beaver moon is also referred to as a perigean supermoon. So another term, so perigean means it's nearest the Earth. Does anyone in the chat know what an apogee is? Has anyone heard this term apogee referring to moons? So an apogee is when the moon is farthest from Earth. So that will be when the moon is shining in the sky the least amount. So chat, tonight we have learned quite a bit about this beaver moon, and I'm just going to review it with everyone and then probably conclude for the night. Beaver moon, it's been interesting, but not a whole lot of depth in the topic. So for everyone joining, reviewing, we're about 12 hours away from the highest point in the beaver moon. This is a special day because, well, this year is a special sequence because we have 3 supermoons in a row. What's a supermoon? A supermoon is when the moon in its orbit is around 25,000 miles closer to the Earth. And why it looks super to us is that 25,000 miles makes it appear 30% bigger in the sky. So when it's appearing bigger, it's obviously, I don't know. Today we go outside and look at the moon less than we did in the past, but for times past, obviously the moon is extremely important. So it was a significant time every November, this beaver moon, and we went over why they called it a beaver moon. So everyone joining, this is a study hall. We do study halls twice a day, and the reason we do them is we like to just learn about all the changes and things going on around us. So we go over robotics, AI, and science every morning at 8:30 and every evening at 8 p.m. And hope I'm thankful you're in here. Welcome in, and we just like to learn what we can, make best use of our time. So we've gotten through. Let's see where I was. We are talked about supermoons. How often do they happen? Anyone know? Anyone paying attention? Put it in the chat. And there's a bit of delay on my end, so they happen 3 to 4 times a year. We have 3 in a row, last month and next month and tomorrow. And we get regular moons 12 to 13 times a year, every 29.5 days. Now, one question that I have yet to cover is, can you see the beaver moon better in different places? All right. We've in the chat tonight, we've seen people talk about seeing beavers in Mexico, beavers in Yellowstone, but that's the beaver itself. But what about the moon? Does your position on the Earth look different? And the answer to that is the moon itself is that 30% bigger everywhere. So everywhere is going to have it appear larger, no matter whether you're in Mexico, United States, United Kingdom. It's going to really appear larger where you're at. Obviously, light pollution plays a big role in that. So if you're in a more populated city, it's not going to be the same. If you're in a more rural location, and the weather and all that affects that. But wherever you're at, whether it's evening or morning, in the next 12 hours, that moon is going to be at the highest point. It's going to be 30% bigger. So I hope tonight has been pretty informative. You've learned some new terms. You learned why they call it a supermoon. And, I appreciate you being here. Our next live is going to be tomorrow morning at 8:30. So we'll spend the morning learning about something, building community. If you've enjoyed, please give me a subscription. I've been on live for not too long, maybe a week and a half, and been putting out videos every day for about 2 months. So once again, thank you for joining in, and we'll see you next time. So enjoy the beaver moon tonight and tomorrow, and thank you.